Dad. Do it look like his son supposed to take your dad? I don't even feel right. Y'all hear this time? Oh, Tank don't pay his coach.
Tank has never been one to hold back, and following his draw with Lamont Roach, he's making it clear that major changes are coming to his camp. His decision to split from longtime trainer Calvin Ford was already a shock to fans, but now rumors are swirling that his new trainer, Barry Hunter, who worked with him ahead of the Roach fight, could also be on the way out. Given Tank's close bond with Ford, the move has raised eyebrows, leaving many to question whether he's making a smart strategic decision or simply letting frustration take over.
The last one out the gym. Tank used to sit on the ring like this and watch me train him.
How old is he at this point?
He's like 7, 8. Okay.
Ford wasn't even in Tank's corner for the Roach fight, which already had people talking. Now, Tank is making it clear that he's heading in a new direction, stating that it's time for Ford to focus on his family and his younger fighters. From Tank's perspective, his career is entering a new phase, and he needs a team that can challenge him in different ways. He insists it's nothing personal, but Ford isn't convinced. This isn't about me, Ford reportedly told someone close to the situation. It's about Tank, and right now, he's just looking for someone to blame. For Ford, this is about more than just boxing. He took Tank in as a kid, helped mold him into a champion, and now, just like that, he's being pushed aside. Fighters wanting change is one thing, but to Ford, this feels different, like a betrayal, a sign that Tank may not fully grasp the role Ford played in getting him to the top. The Roach fight didn't go as planned, but was that really about training, or was there something deeper at play? Ford has his own answer.
He been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at seafood.
You lose focus. You start thinking you got all the answers. That's when things go left, Ford said, frustration evident in his voice. This fight didn't go how he wanted, and now it's like, let me clean house. But you don't throw away your family, and that's the part that stings the most. For Ford, his role in Tank's life was never just a job. He wasn't just there to hold mitts or craft fight strategies. He was there when Tank had nothing, pushing him through the tough days, keeping him on track when distractions threatened to derail him. Now, after one disappointing night in the ring, all of that is being tossed aside, and that's why Ford is heated.
Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin tatted on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean? I don't know. Calvin is pops. He ain't going nowhere. Got that nigga tatted on me.
Barry Hunter, who stepped in to help Tank prepare for Roach, has been around long enough to know that this is just how boxing works. Fighters make changes when things don't go their way, but even he's surprised at how quickly things are shifting. Tank is looking at everything around him, trying to figure out what went wrong, Hunter said. Right now, it looks like he's thinking of new trainers, a new team, and new everything, but is that really the issue? Hunter hasn't said much publicly, but those words suggest he sees what's coming. If Tank is truly cleaning house, Hunter might not be safe either, and that uncertainty is making this whole situation even more unpredictable.
His cousin Tank's comment, because he was asked if Coach Calvin was in his corner. He said, we'll see.
Right, because nobody finished, but, you know, he didn't mean anything about it, you know.
Facts. There you go.
They forever facts.
There you go. Enough said.
If Tank is serious about completely overhauling his camp, then he's going to have to find a whole new team. And that's not always an easy thing to do, especially for a fighter of his caliber.
The
truth is, the Roach fight wasn't supposed to be a struggle.
Tank was expected to dominate,
make a statement, show the world that he's still one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Instead, he found himself in a fight that exposed weaknesses that made people ask questions. Did he take Roach lightly? Did he not train the right way? Was something off in camp? These are the questions Tank is asking himself, and right now his answer seems to be, I need something new.
So everything is new with Calvin. This is the first time he's not the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I told him, I said, Calvin's pop. You know what I mean? He will always be around.
But Ford sees things differently. To him, Tank isn't looking at the real issue. Asterisk himself. Asterisk. You have to ask, was it the trainer or was it the fighter? Ford said, because last time I checked, nobody threw a single punch that night except him. And that's where the real tension lies. Ford believes Tank lost focus. Maybe, after years of being told how great he is, he started believing talent alone was enough. Maybe the hunger isn't the same. Maybe this isn't about trainers at all. It's about a fighter who needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Hunter, while more diplomatic, seems to share that sentiment. Tank's at a point in his career where he's got to decide what kind of fighter he wants to be, he said. Asterisk, and switching trainers isn't always the answer.
That's not that's the truth. You can't stand. So I don't like using that word. I'll do it.
But Tank isn't backing down. He's convinced that change is necessary, that he needs a team fully locked in on what's next. There's already talk that he's eyeing a high-profile trainer, someone with experience coaching multiple world champions. Names are being thrown around, and it's clear Tank wants to shake things up in a major way. Still, not everyone is convinced this is the right move. Some in the boxing world think he's making a huge mistake, cutting ties with the people who know him best just because things didn't go his way. Others see it as a natural evolution. Great fighters make tough decisions, and sometimes that means stepping away from the past. Better now than later, champ.
Better now, champ. Better now. Ready for Saturday? Oh, already. Huh? Oh, man, what can I say, man? Of course, Tank, somebody that's been in the gym since he was a little baby, so we real familiar with him. Cam was beautiful. Yeah.
But the real question is, will this actually make him better, or is frustration clouding his judgment? Ford has already made it clear. He won't beg to be in Tank's corner. I did my job, he said. Asterisk, I took him from nothing to the top. What he does now, that's on him. He's an adult, asterisk. Hunter, meanwhile, is waiting to see what happens next. He's not one to force himself into a situation where he's not wanted, but he also knows how unpredictable boxing can be. Tank could change his mind. Cooler heads could prevail. But right now, it looks like Hunter is out too. And that leaves Tank in a very interesting position.
You got 5 judges. There's no way you ever gonna get a split. You know what I'm saying? Because it gotta always be the one be that decide factor. Because with 3, it's like majority. You know what I mean? So, all right, if 3...
Tank is making a bold move, betting on himself, surrounding himself with new voices. But if things don't go his way in his next fight, where does he go from there? Once you start cutting ties, once you break bonds that took years to build, there's no going back. Ford, despite his frustration, isn't angry, he's disappointed. I just want him to see what he's doing, he said. Because at the end of the day, when all these new people come and go, who's really going to be there? And that's the part Tank hasn't answered yet. As much as it's not being talked about, this is a heavy turn for Tank. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. isn't wasting any time. After their controversial draw, he's made it clear he wants a rematch, and he wants it as soon as possible.
Any of y'all had me getting knocked out to all this, I'm going to go back and look at y'all pages. I promise you. I promise you. I'm so glad the fake boxing media and I didn't even two-tone, showbiz.
Taking to social media, Roach called himself a pound-for-pound talent and made it clear he's ready to prove it again. With growing pressure from Roach, increasing public demand, and the lingering controversy from their first fight, the rematch is now being discussed for May, much sooner than many expected. And that's where things get tricky for Tank. If he's serious about making big changes to his camp, this might not be the right time. A rematch on such short notice means adjustments have to happen fast, and overhauling his entire team in the middle of that process could backfire. Instead of fixing what went wrong against Roach, He could end up creating even more problems by rushing into a new system with.
What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like it. It's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I can do more.